So Northern Sphere Review is a little behind the times in the gaming world, but it didn't get nearly enough reviewer praise, so I'm going to attempt to remedy this in under 2 minutes. Much of the flack that Northern Sphere got in its reviews was that it was too repetitive. You have 5 or 6 areas with 5 or 6 characters with 5 or 6 moves. Northern Sphere is made by Atlas, the king of JRPGs. Being that it's a half JRPG, let's get a little perspective here. Final Fantasy. You have 4 moves. Attack, defense, steal, and magic. And transform if you're a Final Fantasy X2 pretty princess. It's a half-breed side-scroller. It's going to get a little repetitive in terms of gameplay. But what differs it from the schlag of farming RPGs with boring, contrite plots about angst, amnesia, and stupid love interests with about as much taste and depth as moldy white bread is its unique storytelling. This game has the best storytelling of the year, hands down. I have not seen a more compelling and beautiful storyline in years. It takes all the contrite, overused twists and gimmicks from the cesspool of all RPGs and pulls them out of the rock they've become in a refreshing, touching, and infinitely beautiful way. The chapter mechanic is unique, complex, and extremely driving. Not to mention this game has thousands of hours of cutscenes, played in a way that a book might read. Compelling, beautiful, and leaving the reader/player unable to put it down. Romance in video games has become trite and overdone. Let's just accept this. Whereas you have, all of our traditional, oh Tifa, oh Yuffie, why is my hair not blonde and spiky enough? In this game, you have a romance, you have a couple of them, that leave even the hardest of hearts sighing. And of course, all the art is hand-drawn. The game is incredibly beautiful. Remember that this is a half side-scroller with hand-drawn art. Hand-drawn art! Meaning, for us old-school gamers who played Metal Slug, when we reach the end of an area to find a large, menacing character, we say, aha! Clearly this must be the boss. But what you're not expecting is how beautiful and detailed everything is. Every action comes across with finesse. Even the ugly monsters have a twisted, fluid beauty to them that feels like take every happy memory of Streets of Rage or Metal Slug from back in the good old days when shit rocked. Now, have it expertly extracted by the well-lotioned hands of your personal harem, brought to the present, given a makeover by the best SFX makeup artists in Hollywood, given a fashion update by the love child of BCBG, Vera Wang, and Issey Miyake, given about as much cool as Haagen-Dazs in winter, and you'll have what it feels like to interact with this game. Not to mention, it's epic. Like... dragons and witches and heathen gods and paladins and heroes and demons and fallen tragic knights and valkyries and true love, curses, and a whole bunch of polytheistic mythologies polished into one beautiful story. The only letdown about this game is its one-button ending. It is appropriate, however, and you only get it if you conclude the game with the correct sequence of characters, and if you have a half a brain and 3 fingers, you can look it up on GameFAQs. It's not hard. But I recommend you play it again with a different sequence. You'll see even more beautiful sequences. There's a little lag in the final area, but it's really not that bad. Not really that noticeable. It's worth it for the lost tangent of gaming that Atlas has so tactfully, temporarily resurrected. So overall, if you're skeptical or you're a sucker for a good game or a good fantasy story, it comes with a 9 out of 10 from the Kitten. Go sell your old copy of Grandia and get the game that looks at all other games, trying to mix a genre with RPG and says, this is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly, you ain't because you're not.
I hope you kids learned something today, that gaming isn't all about Mountain Dew and Halo and Madden. It's about beating other people into the ground, leaving them in a crying, sobbing heap behind you as you step over them on the path to victory. I hope you learned that the true measure of being good in a video game is making other people who think they're good at that same video game suck. And if you don't know what 8-bit is, just Wikipedia it. So you don't ask me and hurt me deep inside. Until next time, for the lovely PowernoiseKitten, I'm Ted, and I'm angry.